Hi, David. The other day you mentioned that the owner of the Miami Dolphins, Stephen Ross, was the worst owner in professional sports. Do you really think that's true? I think that there's a lot of questions we could raise about this. For example, have we thought about the owner of your favorite team, the Ats, John Fisher? And what about the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Bob Nutting, who takes the memorial bricks that fans paid for and sends them off to the dump? And then let's go to the capital of bad owners, New York City. James Dolan, thin-skinned Dolan. And then the king of them all, Woody Johnson. So my question is, do you really think that Stephen Ross is the worst owner in professional sports?
I'm so happy. I believe when I said Stephen Ross is the worst owner, I believe what I said, the worst owner in South Florida. And I believe it may have been on Dan Le Batard's show. But let me get to this. It's a topic that I do enjoy discussing. How do you define worst owner? Who the worst owner is? We can rank team performance. That's easy to do. In theory, if your team has the best record over a period of 10 years, does that make you the best owner? The NFL has all these other ways of rankings through their ridiculous questionnaires. Who's got the best training room? Who's got the best team charter? Who's got the best weight room? Who's got the best whatever? And they rank the teams. If your team has the best score, does that mean you're the best owner or the worst owner? I believe Clark Hunt, the owner of the Chiefs, I may have this wrong, Coca. I believe that Hunt of the Chiefs, in the questionnaire of good owners, always ends up around the bottom. Meanwhile, he wins rings. And I believe the Dolphins always end up around the top. That they've got the best facilities, they've got the most comfort, they've got a great city, great weather, great parking, whatever. So what are we judging when it comes to worst owners? Are we judging popularity? Are we judging looks, religion, sex, length of service? Can you be a bad owner if you're just starting? Oh, you get the benefit of 6 doubts. You keep saying something and we're going to believe it's true, even if we didn't ever mean what we said to start with. Oh, we get the benefit of the doubt. Can you be a good owner if you inherited a good team and the team stays good? Nope. Can't be a good owner in that way because that team was built by somebody else. You can't take credit for the big salad. Can you outperform your Vegas projection? Does that help? Over-unders 40 and you win 60. Holy crikeys. We still lost 100 games, but man, oh man, did we outperform by 50%. What a good owner. What about being nice? I see the owner. He takes a picture. He shakes my hand. Does that count? Is that what a good owner is? What about an owner who is smart enough to make himself the GM because he's going to run the team anyway? Is that a good owner or a bad owner? That team is worth $12 billion. Good owner, bad owner. You mentioned in your question John Fisher, Bob Nutting, Woody Johnson, James Dolan, the usual suspects. Believe me, our owner used to be in that conversation too. Worst owner ever. I never really understood. All I wanted to ever know, what are the rules? What are we basing it on? We can't be basing it on World Series because clearly we got one. Are we basing it on the fact that the Knicks have not won a title since 73? James Dolan, bad owner. Well, there are a whole bunch of owners who have been around who haven't won a championship or a World Series. How about relocating a team? Bad owner? If you talk to people in Vegas, John Fisher, great owner. We're getting a team. Art Modell, they don't hate him. Peter Malley, oh God, the Dodgers are going to LA. Still hated in Brooklyn, pretty happy in LA. Do you have to be hated by everyone? It can be loved by some, hated by others. Can Knicks fans love, let me do it in football, it's way easier. Can Giants fans love Woody Johnson just because they hate the Jets so much. They love the fact that Woody Johnson has been so incompetent, that the Jets have been so bad, but Giants fans would vote for him as the best owner in sports because he is doing exactly what you'd want a Giants fan to want a Jets team to do, and that stink. If you are a big Marlins fan in Miami and you don't want the Dolphins to be good, Stephen Ross should be your hero, man. Covering up everybody's failings by his unbelievable failings. So my issue with the question and with the discussion, do I think that Stephen Ross is the worst owner in South Florida? Yes, I do. Do I think he is the worst owner in all of sports? Boy, that's a tough one, but I have to go with no. And the reason I don't, not about profitability, not about business, not about just wins and losses, I'm looking at a package. It's my package. It's my criteria. I'm looking at the totality of the experience that an owner has given me or that I've been able to understand the owner has given others. I'm looking at things that you may not agree with, you may not be looking at, the media may not agree with, and the media may not be looking at, but I'm looking at what is the owner doing overall as the steward of this franchise? For him, for his partners, for his players, for the fans, for the business community, for the political community. I'm looking at all sorts of things. Stephen Ross, the worst? Definitionally, he's not, because his ballpark and his stadium around there, it's so great. I like the question. I'm going to think about it. Maybe I'll rank it. Who are the worst owners? I could do a top 10 off the top of my head, but let me leave you with the worst in my mind. The worst owner in all of sports. Every single sport. God, I want to say Jimmy Dolan, but I can't. Sells out the garden, printing money. Can't say he's the worst owner in all of sports. God, do I want to say Woody Johnson so badly, so badly. The guy's an ambassador. The guy figured out a way to be close to power, to build a family fortune, to have a team that had a couple of years of winning with a since fired broadcaster, but that can't be the worst owner in sports. The Pittsburgh Pirates. You'll never hear me saying Bob Nutting is the worst. They have open windows and closed windows. They find a way to draft pitchers, one of whom is going to win a Cy Young coming up tonight. That can't be. Well, that should immediately not qualify you as the worst owner, that you are able to hire someone who's able to draft someone who is the best in your sport at something. So that can't be it. Is there an owner that has overseen nothing but incompetence, nothing but losing, has not added value to the organization financially in terms of its worth, has not been able to build a ballpark, has not been able to in any way increase revenue, who has stayed throughout his entire course as absolute crap? You got to choose a new owner, don't you? You can't choose one of the owners who bought a team for $100 million and the team is now worth $4 billion, can you? Don't you have to choose someone who bought a team for $6 billion and now has a problem? Or a guy who bought a team for $2 billion from the Angeloses and the team has now gone back into a rebuild because they can't win? Isn't the current worst owner in sport David Rubenstein? Can you imagine me saying that a new owner is the worst owner in sports? Someone who would never appear on any list because he's done nothing wrong? On the other hand, hasn't built value in the Orioles. They're not worth more today than they were yesterday. Hasn't won games with the Orioles. His season had a very disappointing season. Didn't make the playoffs. They're not drawing at Camden Yards. They have a problem with their network, Masson. It's not like there's all of a sudden this great real estate development around. Could it be that's where my head is? That we can't go to old-time owners definitionally of any type? David, it's nothing personal, obviously, but I think, according to my list, Steve Ballmer.